The Google Pixel 10 Pro isn't just another smartphone release. It's shaping up to be one of the boldest moves Google has ever made in the smartphone industry. Imagine a device that doesn't just compete with Apple's iPhone or Samsung's Galaxy lineup, but actually rewrites the rules of what Android phones can do. That's the promise of the Pixel 10 Pro, and if leaks and reports are true, we're standing right at the edge of a new era in mobile technology. Before we dive into all the details, let me say this: before watching, please do not forget to subscribe to our channel Tech Insights so that you can get notified on daily tech updates. Now, let's get into why the Pixel 10 Pro might just be the phone that makes even hardcore iPhone loyalists reconsider their choice. The first thing making waves is something that sounds almost too simple: magnets. Apple introduced MagSafe back in 2020, and what started as a quirky feature became a massive ecosystem. Magnetic wallets, chargers, car mounts. Suddenly, everyday life with an iPhone became smoother and more convenient. Android, meanwhile, struggled with scattered solutions. But now, leaks suggest that Google is about to change all of that with its new Pixel Snap system, a magnetic accessory standard baked directly into the Pixel 10 lineup. This isn't just about snapping your phone to a charger. It's about transforming how the phone interacts with the world around you. Imagine sliding into your car and your phone snapping instantly onto the dashboard dock, launching Android Auto, navigation, and your music with zero setup. Picture placing your Pixel 10 on a cafe table, and it locks perfectly to the wireless charger built into the surface, no slipping or awkward repositioning. Or snapping your phone onto a bedside stand, where it automatically dims the screen, activates Do Not Disturb, and even triggers your smart lights to switch off. Suddenly, your phone isn't just a device. It's the anchor for a whole lifestyle of seamless interactions. But Google isn't stopping there. Pixel Snap opens the door to an entirely new generation of accessories. We're talking professional-grade camera grips that turn your Pixel into a DSLR-style shooter with physical shutter buttons, gaming controllers that snap into place with zero latency, or even desktop docks that transform your Pixel into a fully functional PC. Something Google has been experimenting with for years through its hidden desktop mode. Add AI into the mix, and the phone might even recognize which accessory you're using and adjust itself accordingly. A dock in the office. The Pixel switches into productivity mode with Gmail and Calendar ready. A stand in the kitchen. Recipe mode activates with hands-free voice navigation. This is modularity done right, not clunky or gimmicky, but fluid and invisible. Now, hardware power is the other big story. For years, Pixel phones were held back by Samsung's Exynos-based Tensor chips, which struggled with efficiency and heat. That changes now. The Pixel 10 Pro is expected to debut the Tensor G5, Google's first fully custom-designed chip manufactured by TSMC, the same company that produces Apple's A-series processors. This is huge, because TSMC's Thurn process isn't just about raw power, it's about efficiency. Early leaks suggest performance gains of up to 36% over last year's Tensor G4. And that, combined with improved thermal management, could finally give the Pixel series the battery life and sustained performance it always needed. And speaking of battery, the Pixel 10 Pro XL will reportedly carry the largest battery in Pixel history, over 5200 mAh, promising all-day endurance with ease. When you pair that with a more efficient processor, better vapor chamber cooling, and support for the new Qi2 wireless charging standard, you're looking at a phone that charges faster, runs cooler, and lasts longer. But what about design? Some critics say the Pixel 10 Pro doesn't look drastically different from the Pixel 9 series. And that's true. The iconic camera bar is still here, the flat edges remain, and overall, it feels like a refinement year. But that's not necessarily a bad thing. Remember, Apple and Samsung have often kept designs consistent for multiple generations, and it's the inside that really matters this time. The Pixel 10 Pro will likely ship in bold new colors, including Moonstone and Jade, alongside the classics. And unlike the iPhone, which is still locked to Lightning accessories just a few years ago, Google's choice to unify around USB-C, magnets, and cross-device compatibility makes this design more about longevity than flashy looks. Cameras, of course, remain a Pixel hallmark. While hardware upgrades may look modest, Google's software-first approach continues to push boundaries. Expect macro photography not just from the ultrawide but now also from the telephoto lens, giving photographers sharper close-ups than ever before. Reports also suggest support for up to 100x zoom, but this time powered by AI to eliminate the mushy, unusable results we've seen in past attempts from competitors. Think about zooming into a concert stage from the back row and still capturing detail that feels crisp and vibrant. AI imaging is also rumored to bring real-time scene adjustments, meaning your Pixel 10 Pro could automatically enhance low-light portraits, adjust framing, or even remove obstructions in real time before you press the shutter. This is photography that feels less like trial and error and more like magic. Durability is another area where the Pixel 10 Pro might raise the bar. Foldables have long been criticized for their fragility, with dust and water resistance being nearly impossible to achieve. If the leaks hold true, the Pixel 10 Pro Fold variant could become the first foldable with a full IP68 rating, making it both water and dust resistant. That's a game changer, not just for Pixel fans but for the entire industry, forcing Samsung, Huawei, and others to step up their game. Beyond hardware, what excites me most is Google's ecosystem vision. With Pixel Buds 2a, the Pixel Watch 4, and possibly new Nest devices launching alongside, we could be looking at the strongest, made by Google, lineup ever. And with magnets at the core, imagine Pixel Buds cases that snap neatly to your phone, a Pixel Watch charger that locks magnetically onto the device for reverse charging, or Nest home accessories that automatically recognize when your Pixel is docked. Suddenly, Google's ecosystem doesn't just compete with Apple's. It feels more flexible, more futuristic, and more open. But here's the real kicker: longevity. Google has already committed to 7 years of Android updates, something that puts enormous pressure on competitors and provides peace of mind for users. Combine that with magnetic accessories, more durable hardware, AI-powered experiences, and a processor designed for the future, and you've got a phone that isn't just about what it can do today. It's about what it will continue to do for years to come. So the question isn't whether the Pixel 10 Pro is boring or exciting. The question is, are we ready for a smartphone that stops feeling like a disposable gadget and starts feeling like a long-term piece of technology you can truly rely on? For me, this is the Pixel that could finally pull people away from Apple's ecosystem and redefine Android at the top tier. The August 20th launch isn't just another date. It might just be the start of a new chapter in smartphone history.